Hey guys, this is Bilal Khan and you're watching Simplified Coding. So in this video, we will see how we create a SQLite database for our iPhone application. So I'm going to use Swift and Xcode 9 here, and I have already created an Xcode project using a single view application. So you have to do the same. And this is actually a blank project, and here we will see how do we create SQLite database, how do we create tables, and how we insert values to the tables. So let's do it. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to create a SQLite file. Okay, so to do this we will write here like let. Now this method is called when our application loads. So here we will create our SQLite file. So we'll write let. Let's create a file URL. Now it is equals to file manager dot default dot URL. Okay, this method. Now the first parameter it takes is the for, and we have a constant for it, and which is document directory. So we will create the file for the document directory, and we will create the file inside user domain mask. So we have a predefined constant for this as well, and here we can write dot user domain mask, and then we have the appropriate for URL, and we can pass nil to it, and the last parameter is a boolean which is for create. Now if you want to create a new file every time, we can pass true, but here I don't want this. Okay, so I'll pass false. So it will not create a new file every time. It will only create a new file if the file is not already exist. Okay, so it will give us the URL, and we will append our file name at the end. So we will write appending path component, and we will pass our SQLite file name. So here I can simply write hero database dot SQLite. Okay, so we have our file URL. Now it can give you an error because it may generate an exception, so we have to write try here. That's it. Now when we have our path, we can open our database. Now when you want to use SQLite in your code, you need to import it. Okay, so we will import SQLite 3. Okay, now it is an inbuilt feature, so we can use SQLite database easily. Now once we have our file URL, then we can open our database. So to open the database, we can simply use the function called SQLite 3 underscore open. Now it takes two parameters. Okay, the first parameter is the the path, and we already have the path. So here we can pass file URL dot path, and the second parameter is the SQLite interface object, and it is a hidden struct in Objective-C, and we cannot import it in our Swift code. So what I'll do here, I will create an opaque pointer. So here we can write inside our class where db of type opaque pointer. Okay, and here for the second parameter we can pass address of this opaque pointer. That's it. Now it may happen that we have some error opening the database. So what we can do here is we can wrap it this SQLite underscore open function inside an if condition. So we can simply write if it is not equals to SQLite. Okay, we have the predefined constants. That means we have some problem. So we can print the message like error opening database. That's it. So we have our database now. Now we can create a table. So I hope you already know how we create tables in SQLite or any SQL database. The process is almost the same. So here we can create a create table query. So let create table query equals to let's create the table. So I will create a very simple table here. So let's create it. Create table. Now we will create the table only if it not exists. So we will write if not exists. Okay, and then we will put the table name, which is, let's say, heroes, and then we will define the columns that we want. So the first column is, as usual, the ID, which is the integer, and it is primary key, and it is also auto increment. Okay, now the next column, let's say name of the hero, and it is text, and the next column is, let's say, power rank, and it is also an integer. Okay, so we have this create table query. Now we will execute it inside our database, and to execute a create table query we have a method called SQLite SQLite 3 underscore exec. Now the first parameter it takes is the database opaque pointer, so we will pass db. The second parameter is the SQL query, so we have this create table query. Now the next parameter we can pass nil, and say nil. Okay, so again we can have some error while creating the database table, so again we will wrap it inside an if. So we'll write if it is not okay, which is SQLite underscore okay. So if it is not okay, we will print the message error creating table. Okay, so we have our table. Now what we need to do is we need to insert the values inside the table. So let's check first it is working or not. So we can simply write print everything is fine. Okay, and we can write return here so that it will stop the execution. So if it prints everything is fine, that means we have our database table. So let's try running it. So guys, you see we have the message everything is fine. That means we have our database file and we have created the database table. So it is working fine till this point. So that's it for this video guys, and in the next video we will insert some values in the table that we created. And if you found this video helpful, please hit on the like button, subscribe to my channel, and please share this video with your friends. So thanks for watching guys, and also you can comment down your queries or questions if you have any. So thanks for watching. We will meet in the next video. Bye bye.